What's up, everybody? Old Dazzling Dave. Listen, I know it's been years since I've done a video. Gannon's to that age now where he wants to start getting into YouTube channels and all sorts of stuff like that. I think it's probably been 6, maybe 7 years since I've done one. So y'all don't know if y'all have met him yet. This is my boy Gannon. He's my youngest here, 6 years old. Back when I was doing them, he was first being born. He had a lot of health problems. He's kind of overcome all that. He's got 2 belly buttons, but he's a growing, healthy young boy. Loves to wrestle and fish and hunt, and just a blessing to all of us. He really overcame a lot of obstacles. So today, I asked him this morning. I showed him my old YouTube videos, and I said, well, do you want to start doing this? Because your sister really enjoyed it, when she was younger. He said, yeah. I said, okay, well, what do you want to do? He sat there and he thought, and he couldn't really come up with anything. I was like, well, we've been squirrel hunting a lot, and I don't know if you know this, but he got recognized by North Carolina Wildlife Commission for a youth game hunter. So he's been on these squirrels now for past 2 or 3 years. And I think he killed his first squirrel in 2024, right? Was the one you shot in the butt? Remember that one?
Yeah.
In 2024. So he's been doing it a while now. And
the first one was the baby tail.
Yep, that's right. And so I said, well, let's do a quick little video on just some of the things, we use when we go out squirrel hunting. So Gannon's going to be my assistant here, and he's going to kind of bring me stuff, and we'll talk about it. All right. So, Gannon, you want to bring me? Bring me your knocker here first. So this is the knocker we use. A lot of people just use a stick. Some places we go, we can't really find a good hard stick, and we start hitting a tree to scare them up. Like if they run up a tree and they get into a fork or something, they start to hide. So we built a knocker. It's just a piece of hickory wood. Got an eye bolt and some hand tape. And basically all we do, say we get on a squirrel and it gets up in the tree and we can't get him to show himself. Well, Gannon will sit there and he'll beat on the tree and try to work him out. And then we'll get a shot on him. So that's, like I say, a lot of people say, well, why don't you just use a stick? Well, like I say, a lot of times where we go, you can't find a good hard stick because everything's rotten. You get a beating on the tree and it falls apart. Now, also, if there's a vine or something we can shake to kind of scare them out, we'll do that. Or shake a vine or kick the tree or something else. But it's light, it's little, and it's good and hard, and it works. So we'll carry that with us. All right. So the next thing we'll talk about is the binoculars. Now, any good squirrel hunter knows you need a good set of binoculars, especially late season. They get to where they're further and further apart, and you just have to scan the woods for them because all the nuts are off the trees. They've pretty much eaten everything on the ground. So they're just kind of up in a tree. So we'll take a good pair of binoculars so we find them. This is the Vortex chest rig. So it's pretty simple. You just throw it over your back like so. Throw your arms through it. I'm sure you've all seen these before. And it just rides on your chest. I've got it buckled, it goes around in buckles, but I'm not going to unbuckle it. But I like the chest rig when it comes to squirrel hunting because it frees up your hands. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff in your pockets, weighing you down. Just keep a good pair of Vortex binoculars in here. They're good. They actually worked out really good the other day when we were squirrel hunting. We were coming back and we saw 2 squirrels in a tree. So we shot the first one out and the other one hit on us and couldn't find it, beat on the tree. I told them, I said, well, let's just go and we'll come back to this tree on our way back out. So we were hunting other places, and it was getting kind of late in the day, and it was getting a little cold, and Gannon was like, all right, well, we've got one. We didn't get skunked. We can come back. So what we decided to do was just kind of push back around to this tree and I stayed there on binoculars. I saw his ear, and then so we'll talk about something else that I used a while ago, and I called him up, and he poked his head up, and we were able to get a shot. So that's a perfect example of when the binoculars come in handy. So I'm going to get up and go out of frame for a second because Gannon can't reach this. Oh, all right. So this is the vest that I use. Essentially all it is a turkey vest. I like it because one, it's got a seat cushion that's attached to the back. It's got a big game pocket so we can put the squirrels in there. And I also pick up trash. Whenever I'm in the woods, I always try to leave it better than I found it. It comes with an orange tail, so if you're hunting somewhere you need to have orange on, you've got that right there with you. Things that I carry in it. So we'll go in this front right pocket. We've got a mask, because especially late season, if you're sit hunting, you want to be as camouflaged as possible. So a mask and gloves, because these squirrels, they can hear for a long ways, but they can see almost like a turkey. So if you can get in there and get camouflaged and still, you're going to increase your chances. Some empty shells. All right, so this is the next thing we want to talk about that I was talking about before. This is a squirrel call. This in here is a H&S strut turkey call, or a H&S strut squirrel call. So you've got a few different options. You can bark like that, or you can take it and shake it, or a chatter call. I hear Bronson going crazy out there because he thinks we're going squirrel hunting. Gannon, you want to demonstrate how you called that one squirrel down the tree the other day? And see, he's just making a chatter call. So if a 6-year-old little boy can do it, anybody can do it. It's very simple. It also has it given the distress call.
This one?
Yep. So whenever they hear the distress call, that piques their interest. They think a little one's in distress, so especially the sow squirrels poke their head up, look around, and give you a shot. With a chatter call, it just makes them think, hey, there's something playful going on. You know, they're just running around. It works great in a rut. Yes, squirrels do rut. So you'll have that ability to make a chatter call or a bark call. You can cup it different ways. You can cut the chatter as well, or you can open it up for a little, maybe a not as mature squirrel. So they're lots of different uses for a good squirrel call. And basically you're just trying to get their attention. If you think they're hidden, you know, you can get them and that'll wake them up. That's what I did on that one the other day. On the other side of the vest, I also carry a bottle of water with us sometimes, you know, because you never know when you're going to get thirsty. This is strictly an ammo pocket. You'll notice here, I don't know if you can see that very well, all that is just a 410 shell. That's all I hunt with basically until late season. I'm a shotgunner. 20 gauge is fine. 12 gauge, you're really going to beat up the meat. I found a 410 though. It's about perfect for squirrel hunting. I know a lot of y'all probably started out with a single shot 410. That's what my daughter started out with. He shot it about a month ago and it kind of came back and bit him on the nose. So he's not quite, and the lip. So he's not quite ready for, you know, the adult version of the 410. So a youth option is what he'll be using. And that's pretty much the vest. So we've talked about the vest. We talked about the binoculars, the knocker. And you're like, Dazzling Dave, when are you going to get to the good part? Okay. I don't know the legalities of pew-pews, as they now say, on YouTube. So we'll find out. If this goes good and you get to see it, great. If it gets taken down, I'm sorry. So, and I'll just let you know, all these weapons are cleared. There's no ammunition in them or anything like that. I've practiced with my son on gun safety. He knows never to point the gun at anything that you're not going to kill. I always treat every gun, even if it's a Nerf gun, like it's loaded, right? I think that's very important in our day and age when there's so much fake stuff on YouTube, on videos, on everything. There's not enough educational purposes. So my responsibility as a father with both my children is gun safety. I've been around them all my life. They're tools. We use them for hunting. We eat the meat that we shoot animals, we eat the meat. So they're just a tool. And in the proper manner, they're a wonderful tool to have. And any kind of ill intent, they're going to be bad. So Gannon, hand me the 410. And we'll talk about it. All right, you see how he handed it to me? Barrel away, and safety is on, and action's open. No tail coming out. So this, I don't know how well you can be able to see it, is a Mossberg 500 410 pump action. 3 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber for a total of 4. I do have a choke in it, so we'll talk about that. This is just a reducing choke. This is actually a gun was developed for a turkey gun, so they put the chokes in there. But it just has a regular modified choke in it. Just screws in. I really like this gun for a couple different reasons. One, it is a 410, so you can shoot it all day and you're not even going to feel it. 2, the camouflage. I've always enjoyed having a camouflage gun. I do have a lot of brown guns and a few black guns, but the camouflage is by far my favorite hunting gun. It has a Trigicon, a True Glow sight system on it, which makes it for quick identification, quick target acquisition. So I like that. It is customized. I don't know if you can see the sticker that's put on there. It says keep them treed. It's got a dog with a squirrel. We do run our GSP from time to time. Actually probably gonna run him on Monday. We're off from work and school, so he needs to get a little exercise. And well, we really shouldn't say exercise. That dog doesn't stop. He runs all day, doesn't he, buddy?
Yep. Chasing
squirrels and birds all over the property and just never stops. But I want to get him in the woods some more and get him some more time behind the gun. He's a full-blooded GSP, so he's good as far as tracking and hunting and everything. I just need to get him some more time with a gun over his back just to kind of keep him used to it so he doesn't get startled. But that's the 410. Early season when they're mating, great weapon. Anytime that there's more on one tree, great weapon. Now we're coming up on, today is Saturday, January the 17th. So the season goes out in about a month. We've got a big tournament in Moxville on the February the 7th. So we're going to try to go get in on that. And then next year, next winter, tell them where we're going.
We're going to Georgia.
Going to Georgia. We're going down to my cousin Mike's house, or plantation. He's got a 3,800 acre pecan plantation, and he has, what kind of squirrels?
Fox squirrels.
That's right, big fox squirrels. They're doing a write-up on youth hunting, so Gannon will be in a magazine, and we'll also be on Outdoor Edge TV. So you can check us out there and check out the episode for the weekend when we go down there. Like I said, 3,800 acre pecan orchard. So there's going to be some action. We'll be using dogs. I do believe they're going to be Feist. I don't know if I'm going to take my dog just because, one, that's like a 3.5 hour drive. I don't know if I want to keep him in a box that long. And 2, I don't know how he would react with other dogs. He's never hunted with other dogs. So I don't want to mess up his dogs, and I don't want to get my dog in a bad habit. So I don't know yet. Like I say, that's next winter. Cannon's pretty excited about going down there. We'll be staying in a cabin on the farm, so looking forward to that.
And I'm also going to have a TV.
Yep, he's all excited about being on TV. As far as weapons goes, something like that, like even with this tournament that I'm hunting in February, we'll have a shotgun with us, and we'll have a 22 with us as well, just to kind of cover all our bases. Shotgun's great for running squirrels. You know, you get one on top of a branch and he's wanting to hop. You can't really zero in on a flat shot. You can spray some pellets and knock them down that way. So that's a great reason we carry both with us. There was actually a guy on North Carolina, Squirrel Dog, that had a question about that. He said it was a first-time hunter. Him and his boy wanted to go out. What weapon to use? And so I commented, I was like, if you can, take both, because that's just going to increase your odds by so much. You know, as a kid growing up, I had a Sears 410, and I had a Remington tube-fed 22. And I could hit, I'm not bragging, but I could hit about anything with that 22. That was the truest shooting gun. The 410, rabbits, squirrels, anything in the woods, you know, I'd had a handful of shells and I would just go. So I carry both a lot of times. Like if we're hunting, you know, we'll carry, depending on what time of year, either carry the single shot or the pump 410. Late season, we'll carry 22s just because it's late season. They're not going to be as spread out. So we'll carry the 22 just for a longer range shot, be more stealthy. All right, we'll set that back over there and hand me the 22. Good. And guys, like I say, hopefully now that he's wanting to get into this, we will good job, way to hold it up. Hopefully we will do some videoing while we're hunting. That'd be cool for y'all to watch. All right, as you can see, magazine well is empty and nothing in the chamber. This gun is rendered safe. So this is probably my favorite 22. I have a couple different ones, but this one is probably my favorite. So that's why I wanted to kind of show you all this one. I won this gun in Conover, North Carolina, at HG&H on a drawing. Now, when I say what it is, I'm going to get a lot of negative comments, but you know what? This is mine, not yours, so bite it. This is a Charles Daly 22. It has a 5-round, very small 5-round magazine. It came with a Bushnell scope. I forget the dimensions on it, but it's very clear. This gun is very heavy, but it's also extremely accurate. At 100 yards, I'm still inside of a 1-inch group. I will be passing this down to Gannon as he gets older, probably for his 10th birthday. And it saddens me because, like I said, this is my favorite 22. I've had it for, me and Courtney have been married for 17 years this year. So I've had this gun for probably 16 years. Right after I got married, that's when I was fishing a lot of fishing tournaments. And HG&H is one of our sponsors for our tournaments. And our club that we were in, we fished for them just to get their name out in the fishing community for people to go in and buy lures and rods and everything, you know. So they sponsored us, and I went in one day to get some Mr. Twister hooks for bass tournament, and they had this gun on display, and it was a raffle for, I believe, Conover High School. They were raising money. And so I was like, well, I'll put $10 in the pot, you know, help them out and have a chance to win a gun. And lo and behold, that old runt, he called me and says, hey, Dave, you won that gun. You going to come up here and pick it up? I said, well, sure. So I've had it ever since, and it's killed a lot of squirrels. 22 long rifle. probably one of the most predominant squirrel guns on the market. I've got a Ruger semi-auto. It's a little carbine, so it's a little shorter. It's great. That's actually the one Gannon will be using. It's got a, this also has a Bushnell Sports View scope on it, adjustable. It's a great little scope. I forget the power on that one, but anyways, so those are the two main weapons that we use when we go squirrel hunting. Oh, set that down over there. All right, so we've talked about what gear to use. We've talked about what tools you can use. We've talked about the vest, the binoculars. We've talked about the Georgia hunt. And the knocker, yep. So now you're like, all right, well, now we got all these squirrels. What do we do? So you want to hand me the knife first. So a couple things you're going to need to clean a good squirrel. One, you need a good knife. This is a CV Arca. It's a fiberglass handle, little small skinning knife. The way I clean my squirrels is, and we'll go over this on the next tool. So the way I clean mine is I'll cut the tail, save it, cut the head, cut all 4 feet, snip the back right at the skin, and then just pull it apart, work your legs out, cut your fronts and your back legs off, cut them in half, obviously gut it. And then you have 5 good pieces of, or 6, depending on how much meat's on there, of good squirrel meat. So like I said, you'll need a good knife. So that's tool number 1 for skinning. You want to hand me the other thing we use? All right, so the next thing we use is, these are not game shears. So a lot of people use game shears. But I have found that Klein tools down at Lowe's have got these, they're just really good scissors. That's all they are. And they're perfect. I mean, I can take a squirrel, and I'll do a video now that we're wanting to do videos again on how I clean my squirrels. So I think actually today we may go. We're having a squirrel lunch at work on Tuesday, and we'll talk about the recipes there as well. But so let's talk about these scissors. They are extremely sharp. They are L10 stainless steel, fiberglass or polymer handles, which I like that because it's not going to rust up. Because every time I use them, I clean them good. So you basically just take your squirrel, snip the 4 feet, cut the tail, pinch it on the back, cut it. You have a little, work your fingers in, pull it apart. I know there's other ways of people that clean squirrels. Some people cut them, flip them upside down, cut them behind the tail, hold the legs and pull the back off that way. But I have found a lot of times, if you don't have a good grip, you'll pull all the fur off the tail. And Gannon, as you know, he collects squirrel tails. We've actually got one in the other building right now that is it's drying out. So those are the two main tools that we use for cleaning squirrels. Just like any small game animal, it's not extremely hard. I like getting him into small game hunting because it shows him how to walk in the woods. And how do we talk in the woods? Quiet, that's right.
Unless you have a dog with you.
Yep, if you got a dog with you, you can be a little bit louder, but not too loud because the dog's going to be working. So I teach him all about woodsmanship, and it's good for him because he's got ADD or ADHD or one of the A and Ds. I don't know. It's the one where he's always crazy. So that's why he's a good wrestler. He's only lost 1 match, so I'm proud of him for that. He hit a home run his last at-bat, last ball season. We just got signed up for spring ball.
Yep.
And tell him what position you play.
I play catcher.
Just like who?
My sister.
That's right. So I got 2 catchers in the family now. I don't know if y'all remember my little one, or my oldest one now. She's 14. That just tells you how long I've been out of the game on this whole YouTube thing. But she's doing great. She's doing really good in school. Still don't think she's made a B ever. She's got some colleges, kind of looking into her. She just applied for the capstone at West Arnold High, so she's doing really well. And she's going to hunt with me in that tournament on the 7th. Gannon's quite not ready to hunt that tournament yet. Maybe next year. So I figure we go down to Georgia, see how he does down there in a new pressurized hunting situation. If he does good there, then maybe we'll get him in that Fisher Farm tournament. So, guys, if you're looking for a place to get your deer processed, Fisher Farms down in Moxville, top of the line guys, quick, decent pricing. They do a really good job with the meat. They take care. They try to get you every ounce of meat that you bring in, and you're getting your deer. I know that's a big concern and question when taking it to a processor. I just don't have the means or the time to process after I kill. I can run it down there a week later, maybe a week and a half. They're calling me, hey, your stuff's ready, come pick it up. Good pricing. You get, like I say, every ounce of meat you put in. If you take a 200-pound deer down there, you're going to get, 160 pounds. So, I mean, and you're like, Dave, that's not all. Well, you got to count for the bone mass. So, I'm sure you all already know that. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate you letting me come back on here and just kind of chit-chatting with you. Like I say, this is kind of just an introduction video back to the YouTube. So, we'll try to get this posted today. Y'all can check out some of my older videos from way back when, and I'm going to have to get a new editing software on here and try to get some edits in. But stay tuned, stay with us, like and subscribe, and we're going to get a lot more videos coming out now because I can tell my boy really enjoys this. So, guys, I don't know if y'all remember this, but what am I going to say here? Do y'all remember what I'm going to say? Because I remember what I'm going to say. Until next time, guys, y'all